Sabrina Thalan, Kerala Youth Congress VP, is joining us on the broadcast. VT Rema, Kerala BJP spokesperson, is joining us. Ashwini Upadhyay is a legal expert. I want to first start off with Ashwini Upadhyay. Ashwini, what does the law have to say? Can you just go ahead and make these kind of statements against the Constitution of India and get away with it?
In fact, insulting our constitution is an offence and it's a punishable up to the 3 years. It's a insult to our national honor. It's an insult to our constitution, which is very clearly defined in our National Honor Act. That if anyone insult our constitution, deliberately insult our constitution, he has to go to the jail for 3 years. So I hope that some citizens of our country, particularly from the Kerala, will lodge a complaint, lodge a FIR against him. Otherwise, someone will go to the court. Definitely, it's a very serious issue. I have my constitution. It was not written and drafted and prepared by the British. It was prepared by the Indians. It was a Constituent Assembly which has the 300 members. Pandit Nehru, Aladi Krishna Iyer, Syama Prasad Mukherjee, Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. These are 300 people. They all were the Indians. Not a single person was from the British, from the England in this assembly. And this constitution says you provide equal opportunity, you provide equal common education, you provide the common civil code, you provide the gender justice, you ensure the gender equality, you provide food, electricity to every home. Rather than doing this minister is saying this the constitution is useless, the constitution is against the poor. In fact, this constitution is pro-poor.
Mr. Upadhyay, I don't know if you ended up hearing what the minister said, but the minister, of course, clearly went ahead and mocked the constitution because he went and said that it's written in a way that it can be used to plunder people, and later said that his comments were taken out of context. Being a legal expert, how would you respond to that?
Definitely, I am saying that his remark is totally against the spirit of our constitution. He has committed an offence. That's why there should be this chief minister should sack him. Immediately he should sack him because he has taken the oath of the constitution. He is insulting the constitution after taking the oath of the constitution. He is a lawmaker. He is a public servant. If he will insult, then what the message will go?
No, we also have the Kerala Youth Congress VP on this broadcast. How would you respond, and what is the action that you would like to take now with this regard?
Yes, so Mr. Saji Cheriyan is actually holding a constitutional post. There are two aspects to his speech which are totally detrimental to the spirit of the constitution. The first statement that he made is that this constitution has been drafted in a way to exploit, loot and plunder the citizens of this country. And then he goes on to say that the constitution was written by a group of people under the diktat of the British who were leaving the country. So both these statements have such a bad impact on the morale of the people. And not only that, he holds a constitutional post. When he swears as a minister of any state, the oath of secrecy that he swears, it says that I swear allegiance to the Constitution of India. So a minister who holds a constitutional post, who swears by the Constitution, now is going against the Constitution, which is definitely a case for the person to be removed from the post of a minister as well as a member of the assembly.
So you are demanding his resignation at this point of time. VT Rema, the Kerala BJP spokesperson, is also joining us. Are you also demanding his resignation, and what kind of an FIR are you all planning to go ahead and file?
Yeah, now what I have to say is cry Kerala, because this is such a defiant, vehement and anti-national remark on Indian constitution from a CPM minister, and this shows the attitude of the Communist Party Marxist of India. They have always defied constitution, they have always been against democracy, and they are, as the recent happenings in Kerala shows, they are always showing dictatorial approach. Now you see,
saying because of that one statement saying that they've always been against democracy is a rather extreme sweeping statement to make. My question here is pertaining to what this particular minister has said.
this particular minister has insulted and humiliated Indian constitution and judiciary and even the central government as well. And he has said that it's the British has prepared and prompted the constitution and the Indians have simply written. That means he has lost his value on Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Where does he place Ambedkar ji, who has been doing all these operations behind this constitution? Now he has been challenging constitution and challenging the people of Kerala, the people of India, and he is becoming anti-national and he's almost a traitor in that, because this is our holy book. That is what Modi ji has said. This constitution is our holy book.
Let me bring in Sabrinathan as well. Sabrinathan, the left is backing this minister, saying it was a slip of tongue. How do you respond to the left?
So the left has always has a history, a well-written history of being against the constitution. If you remember, in the early 70s, the biggest, the slogan of all the left parties, the SFI across Kerala and Bengal and Delhi was, the Indian Union Constitution is an anti-people constitution. It's an anti-labor constitution. We don't want this constitution. We will burn this constitution. This was the main slogan of the left in early 70s and late 70s and the 80s. And to add to that, if you remember, the Honorable first Chief Minister of the state, Sri M.S. Namboodiripad, he was actually charged guilty for contempt of court in 1967 for speaking against the constitution. So the left always, right from the days of independence, on the day of independence, the left had observed a day of mourning. They believed that the independence was not the independence that the country needed, and they have always been against the constitution and always been against the spirit of freedom of this country. It's only recently that the left has started embracing the constitution of the country. So my point is that there are, this also is a criminal offense. If you look at the laws of the state, the prevention of insult.
And yes, that's what Ashwini Upadhyay also ended up saying. I want to bring in Ramesh Chenithala, senior Congress leader, who's joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Chenithala, since this is, according to our legal expert on the panel as well, a criminal offense, what action would you like to see taken against the Kerala minister who has gone ahead and mocked and insulted and humiliated the Constitution of India?
Today we had boycotted the assembly session and we are demanding for the resignation of the minister. This is a criminal case and the minister, Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Culture, has violated the prevention of insult to the symbols of the National Honor Act of 1971. This is a criminal case, and this will amount for 3 years of rigorous imprisonment. I think that it is very clear that the minister has insulted the constitution. Right. And insulting the constitution is different. Anybody can criticize the constitution. The constitution is not a holy cow.
Yeah.
But insulting the constitution is a very serious matter, and it is a criminal activity.
And Saji Cheriyan later has said that his statement was taken out of context and the left has backed him and said it was just a slip of tongue. Your response, Mr. Ramesh? I
have been asking for his resignation. We are starting agitation for his demanding his resignation, and tomorrow we are moving an adjournment motion in the House for for his resignation.
Would you at least like to see Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan condemn this particular remark? Because until and unless he condemns this remark, it just sounds, and rather the perception is that he stands by it. That's the optics of it, the way it plays out.
Now, this is a very clear case. It's not the criticism of the Constitution. He has insulted the Constitution and he has insulted the founding fathers of the Constitution, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and the then law ministers, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and all the founding fathers of the Constitution has been insulted by him.